about stress, let me request you to change your concept about the stress. Because I think the previous concept is that something which is disturbing me, something which is more than my abilities to handle that, something which is going to crush me. Please change that concept from stress to challenge. Anything which is happening to you, may it be an assignment, may it be someone saying something, maybe it is lack of time to accomplish the multiple projects in a short period of time, maybe it's something physical, maybe something related to relations, maybe something related to pressure from your higher authorities, maybe it's a pressure because your juniors are not working properly and they are not up to mark. Whatever is there, if you call it stress, that means they are going to break it. That means they are going to break you. And if you call it a challenge, that means they are going to make you stronger. See, I'm just holding my hands like this. If you put a 15 kilogram weight, this table on my hands, and if suddenly that weight is put on my hands, they will just move down, and it is quite possible that I will tear one of my tendons. But if gradually I take that weight in a gym and gradually move it up and down, instead of breaking my tendons, it's going to make my muscles stronger and robust. So please remember, wherever we are working, we don't have a control on the outer environment. Stress always is initiated from an outer environment. The triggering factor is always outside. Now this triggering factor, when comes inside, now whether this is going to affect us badly or whether it is going to ignite all our energies to make best out of it, it is not based on the magnitude, quality and quantity of the external targeting force. It depends upon how much endurance and how much ability to handle the stress we have. So the bottom line is, we most likely by an acute method cannot change our outer environment. Though with the long-term planning, we can actually influence the outer environment, but if something happens suddenly, we actually don't have any control on the outside environment. But however, whenever something happens to us, a person who can understand it and does not take it emotionally, rather uses his intellectual abilities to analyze the situation, and then, instead of taking it as a problem, starts thinking on solving the problem. That is, he comes into a mode of problem solving situation, then he is in a good position to handle that. So one take home message: whenever there is something which is disturbing you, please take a rest, lean back, take a deep breath, try to analyze the situation and see where you are now and how to solve this problem. Number one. The second key point for handling a stress is communication. Talk it out. All the people who are stakeholders, instead of just feeling it in your heart and then having an emotional burning inside, just talk. Just ask from them, what do they mean? Just with an intention to understand, not with an intention to teach them something or advise them something, but to understand their position. So when we talk it out, we understand others' position, may it be your senior, may it be your junior. For example, if your juniors are not up to mark and they are causing stress to you because you cannot meet the deadline because of the inefficiency of the juniors, then best thing will be to just call a meeting and talk to them and try to find out their real problems. Try to find out the hiccups which are responsible for their attitude which is not desirable. If, for example, it is your senior, again, in a polite way, with this, using the skills of an efficient communication skills, you can just talk to them in a polite way, in such a way that they don't feel offended, but you make your point through to them. So communication. Number 3, so first of all was no emotional reaction, just understanding it. Number 2 was talking it out, that is communication skills. And number 3 is prioritizing your time and also your schedule. Whenever someone is in stress, most of the time it is the time versus the output. The output required is more and time is less. So all those things which are unnecessary, all those things which you can postpone, all those things which you can delegate, they are important, but you can give it to someone else to do it. But you set your priorities right and start working on that. So if we follow these 3 tricks, stress can be very nicely handled. Now this is for the acute stress, but there are certain very important take-home messages. I'll just enumerate them one by one. If we do it regularly, then inherently our ability to handle the day-to-day stress is improved. Number 1, please concentrate on your physical health. What we eat, how much we eat, when we eat, and what we don't eat, that is very important. Number 2, a sound sleep. No matter how much you are pressed and how much you are stressed with the time, please make sure that you have a sufficient peaceful sleep. Number 3, daily exercise, especially exercises like yoga and meditation or any other physical exercise. That helps a lot, and it produces very positive hormones and chemicals in our body which combat stress. And obviously another very important thing is leisure time. We must, all of us who are working in a very busy circumstances, please, there is one thing we must learn, and that learning is how not to do anything. Because there is a pressure of learning how to do the things, but we must also learn how not to do anything, at least for some period of our day. And on daily basis, there should be some timeouts and where we have got a leisure time. And lastly, or second last, if you allow me, 2 points left. One is, please remember that it is not the things which makes you strong. It is not the things which gives you energy to handle the tough situations. It is the relations which help you. So please save your relations. Invest in your relations, your spouse, your children, your junior colleagues, your senior colleagues, your neighbors. If we invest on the relations, then these relations generate that energy which makes us strong. And lastly, I am of a firm belief that faith helps you a lot. If someone is going to be bankrupt, if he has got a faith, he will rise again. Faith actually gives us the strength to handle the atrocities, and also it teaches us how to behave when there is good time. So these are certain points. I hope when we practice it, we are not going to have an environment where there is no target, outside factors, but at least we can make our inside so strong that these initiating factors are not going to disturb us. So good luck and thank you.